folks, ladies and gentle cars, my name is Farkle8000, and welcome to the spookiest competition on the schedule. Now, we are a few days late, but it is time for the Halloween competition. This is actually early. Heavy quotes on early, because we usually do the October competition and then the Halloween competition, but we wanted to release the Halloween competition as close to the date as possible. The October competition can just be released later. And looking at schedules and stuff, I'm pretty sure we're ending this season way later than I would like to, which is unfortunate. But we are going to finish this year and then hopefully be 100% on track for 2026. But we are getting straight into the Halloween competition. There are storylines to look at in this competition. Now, usually I would show them or would mention them, but not a single one of them is involved in this video. Not a single competitor from the top 10 or from the championship conversation is involved in this video. Now, there are a lot of very competitive drivers in this video, but there's none involved in the top 10 or the championship conversation, so I'm not gonna mention any of it. I'm not even gonna show you the photos that I have. So, we're just gonna get straight into it, and we'll update you in the next video. But this is the first half of round number 1, so let's get racing. We begin this video, and the first half of round number 1, from right to left, with Skull, Lantern, Oldster, and Sports. Let's get the Halloween competition underway. And it looks to be Sports a slight lead coming through the transition, bouncing there. Everyone was in the air, but they're still cleaning on their tires at Drag Race. Coming to the finish line, Sports will cross the line in first. Oldster, Skull will bounce off his finished piece. He'll roll back. And a DNF with Lantern. It's Sports with the victory. Oldster, I mentioned it, comes home in second place. Everyone bounced big through that transition, got airborne. I was worried Skull was going to hit that side piece again and flip wildly like he's done in the last few competitions, but he did not. We're placing Skull in last place right here. That is incorrect. Skull should not be in last because he did bounce off his finish piece. He made it further down the track than Lantern, and so Skull should actually be in third place, Lantern in last. So we'll make sure that is proper in the points and the garage lineup, as well as Sports advances to the next round. Next up, we've got Blue, Mustang, Cage, and Siren. And it looks to be Cage being left behind early. A wobble there from Mustang, and now he flips. Everyone's on their roof except for Cage. He's the only one on his tires, bouncing to the finish line. Will he finish the race? He will indeed. Cage will drive out of screen as everyone else is on their roof. Coming through that transition, everybody flipped. It was Cage falling behind. It was like he was psychic or something, knew exactly what was going to happen and fell back to stay out of the chaos. And this is how they finish our first triple DNF of this competition. And Cage is the one to benefit. He takes the win and advances to the next round. Next up, we've got 96, Cruz, Sunshine, and 5. And it looks to be... Oh, Cruz gets caught at the start line. He's far behind. Bouncing, he nearly flips through the transition. It's 96 coming to the win. Sunshine's bouncing all over the place. She will lose out to 5. And Cruz, who started very far behind, he'll DNF, attempting to catch up on the side of the track. He'll finish last. Cruz has so much speed. If only he could harness it. He makes so many mistakes. So many mistakes, not just this season, but in previous seasons. 2023, he was super, super fast, but kept clipping the wall. It took him way too long to finally advance to round 2 that season. And this year, again, he has the speed. He just keeps making the mistakes, nearly flipped through that transition, and then ends the race on the side of the track as 96 pulls away to the win. Next up, we've got Pullback, Goldie, Loves, and Spikes. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Loves falling behind, and now he flips on his roof. Pullback and Goldie are falling behind as well. Spikes will win the race, and we're going to have a triple DNF. Loves, Pullback, and Goldie will DNF. Loves is furthest ahead. He is on his roof. Goldie off the track into Pullback, who is on her tires. That is how they will finish. Loves, Goldie, Pullback in last. Spikes gets the win. And that is our second triple DNF of this competition. Almost went 2 in a row as well. It was not long ago, literally 2 races ago, where we had our first triple DNF. This one is benefit to Spikes. It didn't look like she was falling behind, unlike Cage earlier, who was kind of psychic and knew what was happening. Spikes, it looked like maybe she didn't know what was happening or wanted to be ahead of the chaos instead of behind it. I don't know. Either way, she gets the victory and advances to round 2. Next up, we've got Finn's 37, Toyota, and 156. And 37 in lane number 2 is the first of 8 New Yorkers to run in this competition. And it looks like it's Finn's and 37 falling behind early, and now they bounce! And 37's on his side, Toyota's on his side, 156 is off the track. Finn's will finish the race, he'll be the only one to finish. And we'll go back to back with triple DNFs and score our third of this competition. What a messy start to this one. Toyota 156 and 37 DNF. 156, the only one not on his roof. He was just off the track. And Finn's is the only one to finish the race. Can we add like a counter or something? Like somewhere at the bottom here, we gotta start counting how many triple DNFs we have, because I have a feeling that this will not be the last with how they're racing out there. It is late in the season, and I feel like at this point we have everyone who has struggled on this track in one place. And so that is why we're seeing so many triple DNFs, such a mess early in this competition, which is very unfortunate. When this track puts on a good show, it puts on one hell of a damn good show. But unfortunately, the show today is starting a little bit messy. Finn's the only one to finish this race. He's advancing to round 2. Next up, we've got Hendrick, Minecart, Redliner, and Outlander. And it looks to be Outlander slightly coming through the transition. Now he bounces! Redliner's on his roof, but he's the only one on his roof. A drag race to the finish line, and Hendrick will get the win ahead of Outlander. And finally, we have competitors finishing races. Unfortunately, it is Redliner, the only one not to finish. So instead of a triple DNF, we have a triple finish? I suppose it would be the opposite there. And it was a fun one right there to the line. Minecart, Outlander, and Hendrick drag racing. Minecart a little further behind. Outlander bounced big through that transition, and that's probably what lost him just enough speed to lose out to Hendrick, who moves on to the next round. Next up, we've got Emerald, Pattern, Total, and Metrotech. And it looks to be Metrotech falling behind early through the transition, bouncing there, but everyone's on their tires. It's Pattern and Metrotech coming to the finish line. Pattern by just an inch will get the win ahead of Metrotech. Total in a third. Emerald having an uncharacteristically terrible season. Usually he's around like the 50 to 80 range. This year, I think he's much deeper than 100th in points, which is uncharacteristic for him. He's usually pretty speedy and reliable. But that finish, we have 2 races where competitors finish this one, the first one of this competition, I believe, where everyone finishes the race, and it was Pattern and Metrotech dueling, and Pattern pulled ahead with the win. I believe it was Metrotech falling behind a little bit early, so just that slow start slowed him down a little bit too much, prevented him from getting the win, and Pattern got it instead. Next up, we've got Throwback, Bronze, Rookie, High Tech, and Volks. And it looks to be a relatively even start. I don't know who's ahead. Wobbling there through the transition, and it's High Tech just slightly in the lead. Bouncing to the finish line. The Rookie will get the win as Volks bounces to the finish line. He'll finish last, but everyone will finish the race. High Tech, the Rookie, gets the win, advances to the next round. First time I think he's ever done that in a competition, so that's pretty cool and pretty special. He didn't have the lead coming through the transition, but I think he handled that transition better than most. He did wobble, though, big time. I think if he hadn't kind of clipped that wall, I think he easily would have flipped. I think he came very close, but was able to gather it up, kept his speed up, and grabs the win ahead of Bronze. Next up, we've got Patrol, M, Ruthless, and Charger. Patrol, in lane number 1, is the second New Yorker to run in this competition. And it looks to be Ruthless with a slight lead, but he quickly gets swallowed up. M nearly flips. Charger was on the side of the track. It's Patrol driving away to the finish line. A fight for second. M will get that position. Before we talk about Patrol here, what a save by Charger. Got on the side of the track. We know that there's that little piece sticking out on the wall. Many competitors have hit it and ricocheted all around the track. Charger somehow avoided it and was able to come home. Nearly took second place, but his cousin there, M, was able to grab it instead. Now, looking at Patrol, second New Yorker to run in this competition. He won't be anymore. He's advancing to the next round. The first New Yorker to advance to round 2 so far. Will he be the only one, or will he be joined? Well, the only way to find out is to keep racing. Next up, we've got Copo, Fire, Skyline, and Bird. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Copo now beginning to pull ahead, and it's a wreck. Bird flips all over the place. Fire's on his roof. Drag race to the finish line. Copo will get the win, just barely ahead of Skyline. And Bird started this race in reverse. He's looking forwards now. That wreck was absolutely insane for Bird. Got on the side of the track and did what Charger didn't do in the last race, which is relatively impressive. Bird, unfortunately, unable to dodge it, and therefore Rex and DNFs, a double DNF in this one, as Fire had a terrible start to the year, and then went really, really well, and then recently has been running pretty badly. I don't know what's going wrong with him at the moment, if it's, the track's just a little bit off or what, I don't know, but it's been a rough one here recently for Fire. Copo, somehow the cleanest one there. Usually he's been one of the biggest wreckers this season. Cleanest one in that one grabs the win. Next up, we've got Bruiser, Rookie, Custom, Racer, and Lefty. And it looks to be Racer with the early lead. Can she hold it through the transition? She bounces, but she's on her tires. Bruiser's wobbling big as Custom bounces to the finish line. Bruiser will take second. Racer will pass Lefty before the line and finish third. Custom takes an easy victory, but Racer with the save of the season, maybe not the season, save of the competition, takes third place. She wobbled big, nearly flipped, used Lefty to help her straighten up. Usually that's her clipping the side, that piece on the side of the track and then flipping wildly. This time, she was in the middle lane, so she straightened up, and it looked like she was wobbling a little bit there at the finish line too. But Racer finally finishes a race. Bruiser, I mentioned he was bouncing around a lot too. No one really had that clean of a race, well, except for Custom, who got the win and advances to the next round. Next up, we've got Stinger, Rancher, Indy, and 1. And it looks to be Indy falling behind early, bouncing through the transition. Stinger's on his roof. It's Rancher and 1. Drag race to the finish line. Rancher bounces, but will have the run to get the win. Stinger will DNF upside down on his roof. I'm wondering if we need to do exactly what Rancher did in the last video, put him in the middle lanes. Maybe that would help him, but it didn't look like it. Looked like it was just his mistake. He didn't, go like pull a wheelie and then flip. It looked like he just bounced wrong and then flipped. Unfortunately, Stinger DNFs this race. Rancher wins the drag race against 1. That finish line bounce really helped her out, helped her to get that run to get the win. Next up, we've got Pickup, 35, Brant, and Ladder. And it looks to be Brant a slight lead, but here comes Ladder bouncing through the transition. Everyone was in the air. Ladder and Pickup are falling back. Drag race, and 35 will pull ahead of Brant. And will we have another competitor finish? No. We will not. Ladder. What is going on with Ladder lately? He finished every single race at the start of the season, but ever since we switched locations, he has been DNFing, which is really, really unfortunate. I'd love to see him have chances at winning these races. It's just really, really frustrating. It's probably because the track is just slightly different. Visually, it looks the same. Like you bring in like a scientist or something, you can probably figure out the differences in the track. But yeah, this is really rough and unfortunate for Ladder. It's unfortunate for Brant here as well, kind of opposite end of the spectrum, I guess. Lost out to 35 in a good old-fashioned drag race. Next up, we've got Tire Pros, Rick, Crystal, and Sierra. And it looks to be Sierra with a slight lead through the transition. She's now beginning to fall behind as Rick pulls to the lead with Tire Pros bouncing, and here comes Tire Pros to steal the win before the line. That finish line bounce slowed Rick down way too much. He was leading, hit that bounce. Tire Pros took it like a pro, no pun intended, and stole the win there from Rick. Sierra will hold on to 3rd place. Crystal in 4th, but Tire Pros with an incredible late rally to steal the victory. Next up, we've got Tab, Fastenal, Rookie AE, and Gamera. And it looks to be Tab with a slight lead. Now Fastenal falling behind and he flips. Tab is off the track. AE is on his roof. Here comes Gamera to take the victory. AE will finish the race. I was expecting him to just bounce off his finish piece, but he had enough momentum to take 2nd place. He will finish, but on his roof. Fastenal will come home in 3rd, Tab in 4th, but they will DNF. I was kind of expecting to add another one to our DNF counter. I believe this would have been our 4th. Gamera, the only one who was on her tires that entire time. Well, Tab was on her tires and she was on the track. Gamera, let me rephrase this. Gamera was the only competitor on her tires and in her lane, so she's moving on to the next round. Next up, we've got Rescue, Star, Lego, and California. And it looks to be a very even start. I don't know who's ahead. Bouncing through the transition. Look at Lego pulling away from the pack. Bouncing right there. She'll take an easy victory. Rescue will finish the race, beating out California there for third star takes second place. California's tire doesn't break, but she's too slow. Will finish fourth, but how about that drive for Lego? What a run she got right there. I think this is her first time going backwards, and wow, wish she was doing this the entire season. That was winning speed right there. That was unbelievable, the run she got through that transition. That was really, really impressive. Lego, look out for her moving into other rounds, because, wow, there's really not much else for me to say about this race other than just repeating the word wow for the next 35 minutes. So we're going to move on before I keep rambling, but look out for Lego in future rounds. That was impressive. Next up, we've got Finish, Trunkless, Flatbed, and Plasma. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Trunkless falling behind now, bouncing through the transition. Flatbed was on the side of the track. It's Finish in the lead. Trunkless bounces, will be unable to close, and Flatbed will finish the race. I thought him getting off the track right there was not going to be very good for him. I thought he was going to DNF with the lack of momentum he had, but thankfully he finishes. Not getting many points. I don't remember where exactly he will be in the garage, but he's not getting many points, but at least he's getting full points and not DNF points. Finish grabs the win, is able to finish strong, pun intended right there. Trunkless was the closest, but bounced there at the finish line bounce, and, well, it was Finish who didn't, and was able to handle it the best, so he's advancing to round 2. Next up, we've got Benz, Luke, Rookie, Mighty, and Silver. And Benz in lane number 1 is the third New Yorker to run in this competition. And it looks to be Mighty, a slight lead. Luke falling back, and now he flips on his... Whoa! Benz gets catapulted in front of Mighty. Coming to the line, he will cross the line first. Silver is the only one to finish the race on her tires. What was that from Benz? What did he clip? What happened? We gotta take a look at this replay, because that was absolute chaos. Here, let's watch lane 1. Here they come. Coming through the transition. Oh, he gets on the side of the track and he clips that piece. Gets in front of Luke and Mighty. Even gets in front of Silver as they cross the line. We are going to have to review this because Benz does cross the line, but he doesn't do it in his lane. And since Mighty didn't finish, or it's too far away from Benz's original lane, we're going to have to see how this finish is going to end up. And I'm being told right here that the finish results, Benz will not be winning the race. He will be put to last place. Benz, here's your finish results, by the way. Silver will get the win, the only one on her tires. The reason Benz is being put back to last place is because he crossed the line in the wrong lane. He wasn't in the right lane, and he crossed the track. He crossed the finish line, in the wrong lane. Now, why wasn't he placed second? Well, he was in the wrong lane. Everyone else was actually in their lanes. We will allow you to be kind of off the track, but finish in your lane. So if you accidentally clip, the guy next to you, that's perfectly fine. But he was on the opposite end of the track in one of the wildest wrecks we have seen this season. It's Silver, the only one to finish, really the only one to finish the race on her tires, only one to cross the line in her proper lane, so she's getting the win and advancing to the next round. Next up, we've got Engine, BP, Chevelle, and Mahindra. And it looks to be Chevelle with a slight lead, Engine falling behind, and now Engine is on the side of the track with BP. It's Mahindra now in the lead, bouncing to the finish line. Mahindra will pull away to the win. Chevelle in second, BP and Engine will DNF off the track, which is very unfortunate. Engine will finish last. He has a DNF exemption, but that is for him to finish on his tires. And if the track was faster, he would have finished. This one right here, he is getting true DNF points right here for the first time since I think mid-season or somewhere around there, which is very unfortunate. Engine not getting full points for this one. BP DNFs with him. Chevelle, I don't know how Chevelle lost that race. I assume he just didn't get a good run through the transition, and Mahindra did, so that's why he's advancing, but I don't know. I gotta take a look back at this race. Next up, we've got Gear Wrench, Ethel, Sprint, and Rookie Mountain. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Sprint and Ethel falling behind. Sprint wobbles Ethel on the side of the track. A drag race between the NASCARs, and Gear Wrench will just barely get the win ahead of Mountain as Ethel grinds to a halt. He'll DNF on the side of the track. He and Sprint were the ones falling behind early. Sprint did not bounce that big through the transition. He knew that if he made a major mistake, he would be fully out of the race, and he couldn't afford to do that. Ethel, though, pushed a little too hard, got off the track, and DNFs in NASCAR's Kryptonite of Lane 2, as Gear Wrench and the Rookie have a pretty fun drag race to the win, and Gear Wrench gets the lead and the win ahead of Mountain. Next up, we've got Rifle, Blackout, DFD, and Nighttime. And it looks to be Nighttime being left behind early. Blackout now flips on her roof again. It's a three-way drag race for the finish line. DFD will get the win. And Blackout, for the second competition in a row, will DNF on her roof. This time, though, the crash a little less spectacular, as last time she flipped all over the place after getting caught at the finish line bounce and then ground to a halt. This time around, she just flips on her roof and stops in place, which is unfortunate. Blackout having a rough few competitions. DFD, the competitor to get the win ahead of the two NASCARs. Next up, we've got Tron, Fishy, Country, and FedEx. And it looks to be Fishy a slight lead ahead of the pack, bouncing in the air. He pumped a wheelie, but Fishy still leading the pack, bouncing to the finish line. Fishy will take the victory and advance to the next round as everyone comes in behind him. A pretty fun battle there for second place, and that will go to Country. And so the two NASCARs in this race will finish third and fourth, as it's Fishy advancing to the next round. That's pretty cool and exciting. Fishy ended last season with a very long string of second place finishes in round number one. Very close second place finishes. He started this season the same way, and then got on a bit of a roll, advanced to round two for quite a few competitions in a row there. It's been a bit of a struggle the last couple of competitions. Nearly threw it away by popping that wheelie, popped up on his back tires, front end way in the air, but he saved it, and Fishy will advance to round two. Next up, we've got 9, Mixer, Interstate, and Ally. And it looks to be Ally, a big lead early. Can he hold it through the transition? He can, as his competitors crash behind him. 9, flipping wildly. Mixer is off the track. Interstate challenges for the win will not get there. And we have a double DNF in this one. 9 will finally come to rest on his side after bouncing off the side of the track. And Mixer, so close to the finish line, yet so far he too will DNF. 9 bounced all over the place. I don't know how he didn't flip after clipping that side piece. Mixer somehow didn't flip. I think he got helped by 9 flipping all over the place and ends the race upright but off the track and will DNF. So the last race, the NASCARs finished 3rd and 4th. This race, the NASCARs finished 1-2 with Ally advancing to the next round. Next up, we have Daylight, 10, Jeep, and Dylan. And it's Jeep, a big lead early. Can he hold it? No, he can't as he flips in the air. I think he got clipped by 10. He's off the track. Daylight will finish the race, and we're going to have a triple DNF. 10 is upside down. Jeep is off the track, and Dylan is either stuck or just unable to make it to the finish line off the track, maybe as well for him. Jeep was leading the race through that transition. As you see, he's placed 3rd here. Dylan placed in front of him in 2nd. But Jeep was leading the race. It was a big lead, and I think he would have been fine had 10 not bounced in the air. And I think he clipped Jeep's back end, as he bounced in the air, and he shoved Jeep off the track. That might have been what's been happening in the last few competitions, as ever since Race and Land, 10, Jeep, and Dylan have been unable to finish a single race. They had a great run in Race and Land, but have been struggling the last several competitions. Daylight has as well, actually. It was entirely possible we got a quadruple DNF in this one, but Daylight, able to hold it, will come home with the win and advance to the next round. Next up, we've got Rover, Orange Liner, Shooter, and Rookie Wallace. And it's Shooter, big lead early. Can he hold it? He can. Rover flips on his roof, lands on top of Orange Liner. Shooter bounces, and here comes Orange Liner to steal the win across the line. Wallace will bounce off his finish piece and DNF. What happened with Shooter? He was super slow. Is he off the track? I think he is. I think Shooter was off the track through that transition. He was unable to hold it and was super fast until that bounce. He had enough speed to finish, was probably blocking Wallace, which is why Wallace was unable to finish. Rover close to the finish line as well. He will DNF, and that was a wild, wild race. Orange Liner got landed on top of by Rover as he flipped, but Shooter, I believe, being off the track, allowed Orange Liner to close right at that finish line bounce and steal the win. Next up, we've got Ford, Sprinter, Catapult, and Rookie Sylvia. And it's Catapult, a big lead early. Can he hold it? He can't, as he flips, does a 180 in front of Sylvia, bouncing to the finish line. Sprinter will get the win! Catapult was off the track into Sylvia, was slowing them both down, pulled a 180 in the air, nearly landed back in his own lane, and coming to the line, they just slowed way too much of that finish line bounce, and they both get past. That was unbelievable. Sylvia probably furious right now, but choosing not to take out her anger, at least right now. Sprinter gets the win, was in the top 15 earlier this season, has been falling a little bit ever since. A stolen win right here. He advances to the next round. Completely forgot to mention he was the 4th New York to run in this competition. Yeah, we're halfway there, and so far we're 50% advancing to round 2. Next up, we've got Orange, Rookie Quattro, Comscope, and Worldwide. And it looks to be Quattro, a big lead. Can he hold it? He bounces. Worldwide was in the air as well, but they're all clean. Coming to the finish line, they're 3 wide. And it's unbelievably tight between Quattro and Comscope. Who won this race? I don't know. It's Quattro who wins! What an unbelievable run right there. Worldwide bounced away in the air. He was completely airborne, perpendicular to the track, but he was able to save it, comes home in third place, was part of that 3-wide mess to the finish line, and Quattro and Comscope have a good old-fashioned drag race to the line. I thought Quattro had lost it, but somehow he does not. I feel like they tied. I genuinely feel like they tied. It's just Quattro coming across the line. I guess he gets it first. But what an unbelievable finish. After the craziness that was the last race, this was unbelievable and super fun to watch. Next up, we've got rookies, Hooters and TT with Bones and Bullet. And TT in lane number 2 has run July, August, and September, and has not finished a single one. He has DNF'd with Hooters in all 3. He and Hooters had a long conversation after round 1 of the last competition. I'm not sure if anything's going to change. Not sure if any of the information stuck. I guess the only way to find out is to race. What's the saying? 4th time's the charm, I think. And it looks to be... Oh! Bones gets caught at the start line. He's off the track already, wobbling, and TT's on the track fighting with Hooters. Hooters will win the race. TT in second. Bones across the line in the wrong piece. And so we're going to have to find a way to officiate that. But they finish, and TT will finish next to Hooters. Thankfully, finally, well, he's been finishing next to Hooters for the last few competitions, but they run side by side across the finish line on their own pieces. It looks like Bones will pull home third place. Not sure if he's going to DNF, though. Gonna have to find out what that is or not. I'll update you in the next video. Not the next video, the next race, whether or not Bones does or doesn't DNF. But Hooters, after his win, he was 26th in points. I don't know where he is now, but he has been falling ever since that DNF. Thankfully, he finishes this one. He wins the race. Hooters has got a lot of speed. He was just getting ruined by TT in every single race, every single competition. TT as well finally finishes a race. Will not be getting triple-digit points in this one because they're going to be outside triple-digit points at this point. But finally finishes a race. He's got some hope. And we're taking a look quickly before we move on. Bones does get DNF points, and so we probably have a triple, or not a triple, but a double DNF in this one, with Bones and Bullet both DNFing. Next up, we've got Prime Target, Pennzoil, Zonda, and Proto. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Zonda now beginning to fall behind, bouncing as Prime Target's on his roof. They're 3 wide coming to the line. Battle really is for second, and Pennzoil will take that position. Proto will take the win, advance herself to the next round. Has had a very quietly excellent season. Not in the top 10 conversation, but has been top 25, top 35 all year long. I don't really think of Proto as that type of consistent competitor, and yet here we are talking about her being super, super consistent this season. Zonda will finish the race, comes home in third. Prime Target DNFs on his roof. He is the only competitor to DNF in this one. Next up, we've got Rookie Artie, Railing, Flames, and Reem. And it looks to be Flames a slight lead with Artie, and now bouncing. Flames is on his roof. Railing is off the track, so is Artie. Reem will finish the race. Artie will bounce off his finish piece, And we have another triple DNF in this one. Update the counter. I believe we're up to 5. I think. I could be very, very wrong on that, but I believe we're up to 5. Ream, the only one to finish the race, the only NASCAR in this race as well. The rookie, so close, but was off the track. Flames upside down, I guess slid further than Railing, who was on the side of the track. Railing, I mentioned it off the track as well. He DNFs, a triple DNF in this one. Chaos in a new location. Man, cannot wait until we get to a track that is easily replicated, or a lot easier to replicate next season should be that track. We got a couple of different options. We're hopefully releasing that new track here shortly, but right now it's Ream advancing to the next round on this current track in 2025. Next up, we've got rookies, Viper and Vintage with Black and Abstract. And it looks to be maybe Viper with a slight lead. Now Vintage flips, lands on top of Viper. He's falling behind on his roof as Viper takes the win. The fight's for second. Black will take that position, and Vintage will DNF on his roof and finish last. Bounced wildly through that transition. Did what Worldwide did earlier, except Worldwide was actually able to save it. Vintage, a rookie, Worldwide, I believe a sophomore, and so Worldwide a little bit more experience knowing how to save it. The other rookie, though, has enough experience to get the win. Viper advances to the next round. Next up, we've got Basket, 222, Snake, and Impreza. And it's 222, a big lead early through the transition. He bounces, and I think he's on the side of the track. Can Impreza pass? Bouncing, and Impreza will be able to sneak by before the finish line. Snake is big time off the track, grinding like a skateboard on the side of the track. She will be unable to finish. Basket, stuck behind 222, will finish third, and Impreza will sneak by for the victory. And that's happened quite a few times in this competition. Competitors off the track or make mistakes near the finish line, and somebody else sneaks through to steal the win. That's exactly what happened here. 222 is very, very strong on this track. She's having her best career, her best statistical career season. Finished second in the very first competition of the year, but unfortunately, no one is safe from race-changing mistakes, and that's unfortunately what happened here, and Impreza just made no mistakes. Will advance to the next round. Next up, we've got 68, Budweiser, Kurt, and Castrol. And it's Kurt maybe with a slight lead, but it's very tight. Budweiser flips on his roof. He hit Kurt. Here comes Castrol on the outside. He passes Kurt half a car length across the line. He'll take the victory. Budweiser will DNF on his roof. He will wobble back and forth and finish last. 68, the only non-NASCAR in this race, will finish third. Kurt was doing so well. He was maybe slightly ahead through that transition. It was very, very tight. When Budweiser made that mistake, Kurt tried to drive away, but Budweiser had leaped too far forward, hit the side of Kurt, which slowed him down a little too much, and Castrol, who was unaffected by anything, drove to the lead in by a little more than half a car length, grabbed the win, and advances to the next round. This is the 34th and final race of the first half of round number 1. We've got drifts, Hoverstorm, Miller, and Discount. The middle lanes are rookies. The outside lanes are veterans. And it looks to... I think Hoverstorm got caught at the start line. Now he bounces Miller up on 2 wheels, but he saves it, and he's still in the lead. Miller will take the victory. Hoverstorm in last place, but what a flipping save. That's not the right words way to be saying that, but what a save by Miller! He was up on 2 wheels. I think he installed wheels on his door because he was using them. Oh my goodness, look at that. That's incredible. Right there, good save for Hoverstorm too to finish the race, but the fact that Discount never passed him and he wasn't even in to Discount's lane. I gotta take a look at this a third time. Oh my goodness. Here they come through the transition. Hoverstorm out of shape, but look at him. He never hits Discount. He never hit Discount. He just wheeled it all the way to the finish line. What a race to end the first half of round number 1. That was incredible. Rookies finish first and fourth. The veterans finish in the middle. And here is your 34 competitors advancing to the next round. There are some really, really good ones in this one. I do feel like I have to point out Miller here as a potential competitor to go very, very far. Very, very consistent this season, has been one of the better rookies. Wasn't expecting that coming into this season, though really I should have. I feel like I also really need to point out Lego. That was an unbelievable race. I think that's the biggest margin of victory so far in this competition. So let me know in the comments below who you think out of this group has the best shot to win. I put in my 2 with Lego and Miller. I think those 2 have the best shot. Maybe throw in Hooters and Proto too. They've been pretty good this year as well. Hooters especially needs to get out of that rough spot he's had from the last few competitions of DNFing. So far we have 2 New Yorkers advancing. We've run 4, so we're batting 50%. We run the next 4 in the next video. Speaking of the next video as well, the second half of round number 1, we will be taking a look at the top 10 conversation with the top 15 and the championship conversation. As I mentioned at the top of the show, not a single one of them were involved in this video. They're all in the next one, which I have a feeling is about to change. They are all very close and bunched up together. There's no way that they all make it to the next round or have the desired outcomes that they want. So tune in eventually for that video, hopefully later this week. And that'll do it. We'll see you then. Subscribe down below if you don't want to miss it. And until next time, my name is Farkle8000, and we'll see you later.